Welcome to Storytime in Nature. I'm Coral Bass with Manatee County Parks and Natural Resources in beautiful Conservatory Park. So this week we've been talking about a holiday in Florida's sun and how we have similarities and differences, mainly in temperature and some of the creatures. Think reindeer, right? We don't have reindeer. We have deer, which are also pretty important, but we don't have any reindeer in this area. All right, so we have different animals and a different temperature. We don't get snow. So come and enjoy with us. A Night Before Christmas, Deep Under the Sea by Kathie Kelleher. On the night before Christmas, deep under the sea, marine life is waiting, expectant, glee. Look at all the different marine life. What do you see in those pictures? You see a lobster and fish? How many different colors do you see? Do you see their Christmas tree? So pretty. Our seashells were hung on corals with love, in hopes that dear Santa would appear from above. Young mermaids curled up in their pale oyster beds, while visions of periwinkles swam through their heads. I hopped into the kelp with a rousing leap and counted bright jingle shells to lull me to sleep. And from the sea, from above, came a sudden commotion. Out of my bed, I felt a swell of the ocean. What do you think could be swelling the ocean? Up to the porthole I swam like a shark. I tore through the seaweed that peered through the dark. The moon shells, they glimmered like pearls from the glow of luminous jellyfish gliding below. Look at all those jellyfish, and these are moon snails. That's what they were talking about. Then suddenly, diving through briny waves courses, came a huge conch shell sleigh and 8 lively seahorses. With a sprightly, tusky driver, it gave me some pause. Then I knew he quite surely was dear Santa Claus. So we've got seahorses and a walrus and a lobster as the main characters. Interesting. Faster than dolphins, his aqua team came as he gestured in motion and shouted each name. Now Dipper, now Digger, now Limpet and Quahog, on Urchin, on Snail, on Chiton and Sea Dog. Through the top of the current, through the force of the squall, now swim away, swim away, swim away all. As an island lighthouse guides ships safely by, for goodness and glory through storms or bright skies, so too far from the topmost the seahorse drew, with the sleigh full of gifts, and Santa Claus too. Then in an instant I heard a sound hail, the bouncing and swishing of each curly tail. as I pulled back my claw and leaned into the sash. Down through the poop deck, Santa came with a splash. Can you make a good splash sound? Splash! Decked out in red rubber from his toes to his collar, he filled each of our stockings with crisp new sand dollars. With a bag full of goodies slung over that suit, he looked like a pirate come hauling his loot. His oh, you needed to see that. Look at how that house is. It's a ship, right? It's an old ship. And notice what's grown in there. You have sea urchins. You have all sorts of different animals, right? You've got corals. You've got seagrass. He's even got an old bucket. His eyes, how they sparkled. His tusks, how they curled. His cheeks were bulbous. His nostrils were swirled. All right, so you got to show me where your tusks would be hard to see, but your eyes, I want to see your eyes, your cheeks, your nostrils, and his mustachio mouth held a smile of delight, and those wiggly whiskers were all wavy and white. The stem of his pipe rested under his tongue, and over his head glassy sea bubbles hung. He had a kind face and a large rotund belly that bounced as he laughed like a jiggling crown jelly. And who's laughing with him? You see, you got some fish laughing right on with Santa Claus. You're not sitting on my face. Bewitched as I was by his jolly old guy, still I cautiously watched from my kelp bed nearby. But a gleam in his eyes and a nod of his head put my fears to rest without words being said. Look at that wink! And notice it's a kelp bed. It's not, like yours and my bed. It's kelp, like a big seaweed. It's typically found on the Pacific coast. How cool is that? He placed polar sea stars on top of our trees and then turned 180 degrees, sliding his glasses to the end of his nose. With a flip of one flipper, up the current he rose. Look at him. Look at him riding up the current. I just love this tree, this coral tree. I think it is so cool. He soon reached his sleigh and to his crew gave a sign, and away they all swam up that soaring incline. As the flotilla ascended, he bellowed quite clearly. Now flotilla floating on top. Merry Christmas, my friends! I love you all dearly! The end. As you can see, A Night Before Christmas Under the Sea is quite different than what we celebrate. Similar, but different, and those differences are what make them great. They make them unique and special. It was different in the houses that they lived in. It was different in the animals that were there. It was different in the decorations they used. But all were still festive and all were still beautiful. So, I want to know if you have a favorite. My personal favorite happened to be the seahorses with all the water-loving names. I love them. I think they're adorable. But let me be honest, the walrus that was a Santa Claus, our Saint Nick, was awesome. I loved it too. So if you see anything or liked anything you really specifically liked, please let me know, because I thought it was quite adorable. Regardless of the difference, it doesn't matter who you celebrate, how you celebrate. Importance is the heart, and we hope that you have a lovely holiday, regardless what it is. Thank you so much for joining us for our story time in nature. I look forward to seeing you again, either at Conservatory or one of our preserves. Thank you, and have a lovely day and a lovely holiday.